Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 different 3D printable parts that I made for back to school. I thought that some of you might have some extra filament laying around and might want to print something off for either your child, your grandchild, or a teacher. I think this last part in particular will be really useful for some teachers that you might know. These files will be available for free for download, and you can print them off, in any color combination that you want. Thank you for taking time to watch this video and really appreciate your support. And for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Joseph. I'm a radiology resident in Birmingham, Alabama. And on this channel, I like to talk about 3D printing, 3D design, and Fusion 360. And then occasionally I talk about some new products that I've coming out with 3D Sourcer, which is my brand that I sell on Amazon and also on our website. And now let's get started with my first back to school design. Design 1, Elmers glue holder. So here is my first back to school design. It's pretty simple. All it is a stand for holding Elmer's glue. So if you need to get all the glue out, you just print off the stand and then you can sit it like that. Make sure you don't waste any. Design 2, wooden pencil grip. Back to school design number 2 is this. Some of you might recognize this from your childhood days. This is a pencil grip. So the idea is that it'll just fit on the end of your wooden pencil and then give you a little bit better grip when you're writing. And you can do this in any color you want. It's pretty basic, but I'm going to print off a couple different sizes because you want it to fit on there but not fall off. So that's another pretty simple print, and you can do any color you want. Design 3, 0.5 and 0.7 lead holder. And then design number 3 kind of goes along with that whole pencil idea. If you've ever had a mechanical pencil, this will resonate with you. So people will have extra lead. And sometimes the containers that come with that aren't ideal. And I put the lead size on the top here. I have another one that is 0.5. So those are the 2 most common lead sizes, and thought that'd be something that's useful. Screw on top, so made it to where you should be able to print this without any issues. No supports required. So there's those 2 options there. Design 4, 24-pack crayon box. And now print number 4, if you look at it from this side, you can kind of take your guesses, but if you look at it from this side, it's kind of hard to see there, but it's a crayon. So set it down. You see that this is a 24 count crayon container. I actually went through a couple versions of this and ended up arriving at this one just because it's the easiest to print off and relatively similar to the box that you would get. So here's the Crayola 24 count. If you compare the 2, they're fairly similar in size, so it wouldn't take up that much more space. I originally actually had individual holes for each of these, but decided to just make slots, 3 slots of 8, and that worked out pretty well. And then made the crayon on the front, you can kind of see it there, and then on the sides here are little tabs, and I had to play around with that to make it to where it was tight enough to fit but not too tight to where it was hard to get off. So you see there's that little tab, and I think it's a pretty good fit for me, at least. It's not too tight, but it's not too loose, so if you shake it, it's not falling out, but if you pull, you can get it off. So hopefully that'll be a good middle range. And I also added some holes at the bottom just to, if you really need to look and try to find the right color, you can see it there. But I think this turned out pretty well. All right, so this last piece is a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna get these out of the way and make sure that we have enough space here. Design 5, Expo marker kit holder. And so print number 5, particularly proud of this because I think teachers might find it useful, is this Expo marker holder. You can see there, that's the back of it. And the reason I made this was I've seen the other Expo marker holders. I feel like this is just a little bit better in a couple ways. So the other ones, the marker sits flush against the board, but this one is designed to where it kind of sticks out. So you see there, you can put all your Expo markers in. You really do either way, but put it in like that. The kit typically comes with this cleaner, and I put holes on both sides to hold 2 of those if you need to, just to make everything nice and symmetric. And then this sits on top like that. And you can grab it, pretty easily, and it's easy to put on. And for those of you that are curious why I used a hexagon instead of a oval or circular shape, the reason is because we print these face down like this, so that you get this nice surface finish on the front. As you can see here, we have the textured build plate, and that gives us a nice finish on the front, so it doesn't really even look 3D printed. So basically the hexagon is just to make it easier to print, because here you can bridge straight across and doesn't have any issues with that, whereas on this you can see the defects it has on the inside. So I just wanted to explain that real quickly, and back to the video. So now I have the Fusion 360 file, the Expo marker pulled up, and I wanted to show you all just how to change the text on the front. I have Expo just kind of as a placeholder, but if you go to this last sketch down on the timeline, right click and click edit sketch, you'll see that the text comes up. You can double click in, and then you can change this to something like Miss Smith, for example, or whatever the teacher's name is, and then make it a little smaller, maybe 15. Seems like that works okay. Finish sketch, and now you see you have Miss Smith at the front. So you can do whatever you want with that. I'm just going to change it back to the default. So I thought I'd teach y'all one thing about how I made this. I think it might be helpful for some of you if you're trying to make something similar. So the thing I want to talk about is how I made these holes. Sometimes that can be a little challenging to think about because it's at an angle, and there's actually a pretty easy way to do it. So the big thing that I want to point out is the first thing I did was I made an offset plane where I wanted that hole to go. And the way you do that is just go to construct, offset plane, and then you select where you want to make the offset from, and then you can essentially figure out where you want it to be. So that's the first step. So if we go back where I made that first initial shape, I made an offset plane from here, and then I made a sketch in that offset plane. And you can see here it's basically just a line. What this is doing is basically saying where I'm going to extrude the hole from and the angle that I'm going to do it at. So I chose 45 degrees because it was essentially a guess and check method on how far I wanted the marker to actually go into the body. And you'll see here in the next step, I used the pipe command, which is actually a really useful feature that a lot of people don't know much about, and it's something that I didn't know much about initially. So what that is basically follows that sketch that I just made, as you can see here, along a path. And it's just starting from the beginning of that path down to the end of it. And if I make that visible again, as you can see there, and you can change the size of it. So I made circular, you can make it square if you want to. Make it triangular, and you can also change the size of it. So this really determines how big your hole is, so we can make it smaller. Obviously that wouldn't fit with our markers, so go back to 20, which is the size that I thought fit the best with this. So that is how you make that. And another thing to mention is it says pipe as the feature, but you can actually make it a pipe if you want to by making it hollow, and you can see now that it actually looks more like a pipe, but it's really just an extrusion command of a cylinder or a hollow cylinder, which looks like a pipe. So that's something I wanted to mention because it is a useful thing to do. I use it pretty often in some of my designs for different reasons, but just thought I'd share that with you. This is also the same way that I made the cleaner hole. I've been calling it a hexagon, it's actually an octagon. I can't count apparently, but you can see here I made another offset plane. I think this is actually a mid plane between this side and this side, just so it would be in the middle. And then I made a little sketch here, which is pretty much the same thing as I did last time. You can see I made basically the path that I wanted to make the pipe on. And then the next step, I actually made a square pipe, which the reason for that is I wanted to add chamfers, which is the next step I did, which made it into an octagon. So I added chamfers each of the corners, so now it has 8 sides. And the reason I did that, again, as I mentioned, was if I print it face down, now I have a nice straight bridge to bridge across, whereas the circle, that arc didn't really print very well. So I just wanted to mention how I did that. If any of you are interested in Fusion 360 and learning, this is kind of my thought process. And some of this other stuff is fairly straightforward, but that's how I got to this ending shape. Another thing I wanted to show y'all was the alternate marker holder that I designed. Here's the Fusion 360 model of it. You can see this is the squared off version. So just to show you the other version, which is the one that I showed in the actual assembly part, is this one. So it has that angle here, and this one's intended to be taped to the board. And then if you look at this one, it has a more squared off front here. So if you're intending just to kind of set it upright, use this one because it should actually stand upright. And if you're trying to put it on the board, I would use this version just because this saves a little bit on filament. So just wanted to share that with y'all so you print off the one that suits your needs best. All right, so now I have the part in Prusa Slicer. You can see here that it fits on the Prusa Mini, which is a pretty small printer, so this should be able to fit on your printer. And two things I wanted to mention was the print orientation. You should print it face down so you get the nice texture on the front. As you can imagine with the texture print bed, this turns out pretty well. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is that I turned my infill from 15%, which is the default, down to 5% for this piece because it's not going to be under much force. And you can see here after you slice it, it still takes a pretty long time unless you have like a Bambu Lab printer or something that's faster than a Prusa. But generally speaking, I think that 5% should be fine, and it also saves you on material cost as well. So 13 hours, it says $7, but that's for I think $30 a roll, so it's pretty expensive. So if you have the $20 roll, it would be, you know, around $5 or so, which is pretty comparable to most other options. So those are the two tips I wanted to share. Can't wait to see y'all print some of these off. So I've just made this where you can put a piece of double-sided tape just somewhere on here. I think this should hold it fine. Really depends on what kind of double-sided tape. I'm using just the Gorilla Glue branded double-sided tape. This should work. I don't really know a better way of doing this. I know some boards are magnetic, but then you have to buy a special magnet. So I thought that this would be a solution that should work for most people. All right, so this is just a cinder block wall. You can probably rather put it on your dry board, but just pressing it on there like that sits up there just fine. I'll put in the cleaner and then the Expo markers here like this. And then the eraser sits up there like that. So I tried to design this for some convenience. So what I was thinking about when I made them stick out this way was just easier to grab when you're on the board doing things. And this is just for ease of use as well. I think it fits real nicely. And then here you can grab with this little cutout without, you know, touching anything. And if you just need to throw it down, you don't have to place it very carefully. It's pretty easy to make the eraser sit where you want it to. So this is my Expo marker holder design, and hope this is useful for some of the teachers out there. So that's about it for this video. All the links are down in the description for the files. And if you like this video, check out my other video about how to make a luggage tag. I think you'll really like it. Thank you for watching.